It is a fact of the extreme high incarceration rate of African Americans in prison. It's just not right. African Americans make up 13% of the U.S. population, yet 34% in prisons. Now, where I stray in the debate today, and they say they want to hear from whites, so you're going to hear from me, you may not like it, but most people on the left say, well, the high rate is because of slavery, Jim Crow laws, white privilege, la-di-da-di-da-di. I so oppose this. It's just not backed up by data. Let me tell you what's worse than the high incarceration of African Americans in prison. It is the high rate that if you're born into an African American home, there'll be no father there. Over 70% of African American women, when they birth a child, the first day it goes home, there'll be no dad there. Nothing is more tragic than that. And you have to ask the question, what happened? Why did it get so bad? And some of you may say, well, that's because of slavery or white privilege. No, it's not. Go back one generation to 1970. The rate then for African Americans was 24% of the babies born went home to no dad. Today, that is the rate, by the way, for whites. And that's still too high because those kids are almost doomed in that setting. And by the way, I blame Democrats for a big chunk of tearing down the traditional family. The traditional family is what makes a society strong. It's a father, a man, a mother, a woman who love each other. And they do the nasty. They have a bunch of kids, raise a family. Nothing is healthier than that. But Democrats have tried to redefine the traditional family. They hate the traditional family. And so they want to make it about, you can marry anybody you want to marry. You can look like anything. I disagree with that. And by the way, two guys, if you want to get married, hey, you have the freedom to do that. You want to marry your horse? Go for it. What I'm saying is that should not be what's taught in our schools and promoted in our society. It's tragic, and that's why there's so many African Americans in prison, I believe, to this day. Democrats, you have to admit, since Roe v. Wade, they've made abortion the heartbeat of their platform, pardon the pun. And I've always laughed at the debate of when you kill a baby, at what point in the womb. I say, listen, if you're for abortion, why would you not go for 2 or 3 years after the womb? That's when kids drive you crazy. And by the way, African Americans, 36% of all abortions are African American women. Their family is in tatters, and that's why so many end up in prison. Democrats have promoted sex education. Man, they say if you're going to have a baby, give that baby to us so we can tell it how to have sex and how much sex to have with caterpillars or whatever else, and give them all the contraceptives they need. That's been their philosophy, and it has destroyed so much of the traditional family, and it's been devastating to our society. So let's be clear on what this is about, and we'll see if people really want to talk about this or not.